Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muqriz Husaini bin Zari, MDA 1906051. So I am the first presenter. I will be presenting part A. So in the part A, basically there are two questions that were included in the part A. The first one is identify and explain what type of fraud is, and suggest three interval control for each of preventive control, detective control, and corrective control to address as in the case study. So the first question is identify and explain what type of fraud is. So in this question we have identified that the fraud in this question is a kickback fraud. It is a negotiated bribery in which a commission is paid to the bribe taker in exchange for service rendered. It means that ones have to take the money and the other ones will get the service. Generally, the remuneration is negotiated ahead of time. So before they wants to take the bribe, they will actually plan it before it happens. The kickback varies from other kinds of bribes. There is implied collusion between agents of the two parties rather than one extorting the bribe from the other. So basically the purpose of this bribe kickback is usually to encourage the other party to cooperate in the illegal scheme. So one side, they don't want to take one blame if they were exposed, then they just asking for the other to cooperate in the illegal scheme. Okay, we are going to the next question, which is suggest three internal controls for each of preventive control, detective control, and corrective control to address kickbacks as in the case study. So the first one is preventive control. It promotes healthy division of roles. It means that there are separation of duties. For example, not having the same person to do the processing system and also the transaction system. Next, proper approval of transactions. So in this proper approval of transactions, only one person will be elected to do the transaction, authorize the transaction. For example, there is one supervisor that will handling the transaction by assessing and authorizing the transaction application. Okay, the third and the last one is company do an effective record and asset management. So in this point, basically every transaction made have to have the documentation. For example, if there is purchase or sales, they must have record of it, so it does shows the company made the transactions. Okay, the second one is detective control. So the first internal controls is accession reports. So accession reports is basically a document you produce when there is something happen within the company. Maybe there is something that has gone wrong in the business processing. This can highlight problems when they occur, so the company will tackle the problems quickly. The second point is reconciliations. So account reconciliations that have been made by the company in the general ledger to show that they are consistent, accurate, and also complete. So if there is unexplained problem in the account reconciliation, so the company can know whether there is fraud or something happened. Third and the last one is surprise cash count. So every company must do this activity. They always must have count their cash, and maybe if they want to do a cash count, maybe they want to detect if there is a fraud, if there is a missing money. So if a cashier does not know where the money goes, he or he may be honest about it. Now we're going to the last point, which is the corrective control. The first point is make an error, report policies, so that the procedure can be checked after. So basically, if a company make an error report policies and procedures, they will actually look back at it, because procedures, policies and processes are now seen as an indicator to the success of the company. The more strict about the process, the procedures and the policies, the more the company will gain about their successful of management. The second point is training workers to implement new policies and procedures. A company training their workers can be more efficiently to do their working, and also be more responsible, and also be disciplined at the same time, so that company will produce a good workers and also the dedication. Okay, so the third and last point is software patches or modifications. So every company must check their software, their website, so that they can know, they can prevent fraud to happen. So they must actually update it to the latest point, so that the website will be more efficient and friendly user.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Yusof. I am from class DIA 4E. So for part B, introduction, internal controls can be defined as the rules, mechanisms, and procedures implemented by a company to make sure the integrity of all the financial and accounting information, promote accountability, and to prevent fraud. Any kind of activities implemented by an organization to ensure the safety of its assets and data. It also provides reasonable assurance that assets and data are safe. So, the need of internal controls to ensure all transactions are consistent with the procedures confirmation as designated by the management of the company. The information of the transaction also should be keyed in correctly, and the use of the assets should get the confirmation from the management. The internal controls are really needed by the company to prevent the employees committing fraud. Other than that, the need of internal controls is to check the accuracy of the records. For musical sound CD yang berhad should have good internal controls. It is really important to ensure the safety of the company. The employment in musical sound is at approximately 200 employees currently. Since the company has so much employees, it needs to have a suitable system that can keep the company safe even it have so much employees. Next, musical sound Sendirian Berhad use purchasing system as one of the system to fulfill the need of internal controls. A purchasing system is a process to buy products and services encompassing purchase from requisition and purchase order through receipt and payment. This system is one of a key component of effective inventory management. In that, they monitor existing stock and help companies determine what to buy, how much they need to buy, and when should they buy it. Next, basic activities. Payroll system. Payroll system is included in the financing activity, which the total amount of salaries for the employees paid by the employer. Payroll is basically a list of employees who get paid by the company. The first basic business activity that involved in the payroll system is updating payroll master file. The employee records will be updated by the payroll clerk manually. The next basic business activity is validate time and attendance data. The employees enter their hour work data into computer terminals located in each sales office. From there, personally maintain time cards in every 2 weeks. Prepare payroll is one of the basic business activities involved. The payroll transaction file is basically sorted by employee numbers. Next, purchasing system. A purchasing system is counted as operating activity, and it is a system that buying products and services encompassing purchase from requisition and purchase order through product receipt and payment. Then the purchasing system handles all aspects of the acquisition From the purchase of goods to the payment of the supplier, the system begins with requisitioning, then proceeds with receiving goods and ends with payment. And the last one, the user department receives the assets along with the packing slip, which the packing slip is the list of all items that are received in the shipment. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for the first, payroll system. Administrative overhead. The company still carry out the payroll process manually. It create an administrative burden for HR staff. It can relate payment issue and misapplication of rule where there is error in data entry. So that is the first. The second, tracking employee absent. Tracking which manually could have a higher potential of mistake. Paper time card tend to be misissue or unintended error by employer. Third, complaint issue. Supervisor straight away forward the printed summarized personnel timesheet without reviewing it, counted as unyielding. Fourth, organizational issue. It is important keep important payroll, employer record and information organized in an effective and accurate manner. For the last, incompatible software. Need to different the software use the record personal data and the pay system. Could keep the personal data and can keep the personal data confidential. Okay, for the trade for purchasing system. First, purchasing goods from unauthorized supplier. The purchasing department clerk select the supplier himself, which could get the good and the lowest price, but then need to sacrifice the quality of the goods. Second, receiving and storing goods. When the goods arrive, the clerk should compare the purchase order number with the packing slip in the company. The clerk reconcile the packing slip along with the goods and store this at user department permanently. Then unrecorded data considered as the trade in purchasing system as there is no receiving report been recorded once the goods arrive. For the lastly, no independent verification. No approval required, which can cause an error in data entry.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Adam Daniel bin Mazlan from the AIVOI. So I'm going to explain about the recommendation. Firstly, we take a look at the payroll system. The first recommendation for administrative overwhelm is by using payroll software. By using payroll software, we can easily to calculate the wages and deduction automatically. By doing this method, it will easily help to track employee and their paycheck, since Musica Sounds and Berhad have many employee, which is amounted to 100 employees. And the second recommendation is about to track employee absent. In this part, the company also can track. The company also can observe their employee skills, wages, attendance and benefits of the day, such as 6 days and vacation days. For the compliance issue, it is recommended to review the summarized personnel timesheet before print and forward to the payroll. This thing important because it sure to avoid some error before it being forwarded to the payroll. So lastly, it is about using the privacy now method. By doing this, it is easily to record the personal data and keep them as the personnel. So moving on to the purchasing system part. Firstly, the company should get rid of the trade purchase goods from unauthorized suppliers by buying goods from listed supplier. So the recommendation should be there needs to shortlist which supplier they need to buy from by the company during the meeting. So next is about to compare the packing slip with the purchase order so that it will be no goods that not be ordered. This method to prevent some inventory that will be missing. So lastly, approval should be required either from worker or supervisor to prevent an error in data entry. So this method can ask the permission from the other worker or supervisor to treat the threat of no independent verification to prevent the error in data entry. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muqriz Husaini. Number ID is MDA 1906133. Today I want to present part C for the sales department. For the first one is customer sales order received by email, phone or over company website. The second one is customer order received. The sales clerks are in sales department. For the third one is edit and checks to complete accuracy before the prepare sale invoice. Make sure it's 3 copies. And then the fourth one is the original and second copy are forward to the ICD. For the fifth one is the sales order sent directly to billing department. And the last one for sales department is the sales clerk retail file according to the date. Let's go to the inventory control department. For the first one is the employee pick the order goods from the shelf and refer and update every control card. The second one is inventory clerk prepare picking ticket and picking slip. The third one is sent to the warehouse manager for record purpose. For the fifth one is both copy of the sales invoice are forward to bill department. And the last one for inventory control department is the picking ticket will be filed according to the date. That's all from me.
Hi, my name is Abdullah Mas'ud. My ID number is MDA 1906139. Today I want to talk about billing department. First, cashier validate the sale invoice with the sale order. Next, the account manager approve and sign the document. Next, a copy of sales invoice is sent to the customer for billing purpose. Then another copy and sales order are sent to the account receivable management. Next, account receivable department. First, the account receivable clerk prepares a daily sales summary. Then the sales invoice will be used to prepare a daily sales summary. The credit sale invoice post to the accounts receivable ledger. Then the daily sales summary will be referred to and post to the sales journal. Lastly, the sales summary together with the sales invoice and any other document on hand will be filled in the account receivable department. Alright, that's all.